Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Legal World. Myself Dr. Seema Goyal. As in the series of company law, I have discussed many important questions relating to the company law. Today in this video, I am going to discuss one more important question relating to the company law. That is the kind of companies. Companies के प्रकार. If we talk about the kinds of companies, that can be divided on the many bases. Whether it may be divided on the basis of incorporation, it may be divided on the basis of number of members, it may be divided on the basis of liabilities, it may be divided on the basis of control. Thus, if we talk about the kinds of companies on the basis of incorporation, it can be classified under the three heads. First, that is companies incorporated under the Royal Charter. Second one is companies incorporated by the Act of Parliament of the State Legislature. And the third one is companies incorporated under the Companies Act. That is registered companies. Thus, according to incorporation, a company may be chartered company, statutory company, or the registered company. Now I will discuss about these one by one. First one is chartered company. A chartered company were formed under the Royal Charter that is issued by the British Crown during the British rule in India and have lost their significance in the present time. The members of the chartered companies are not liable for the debts of the companies. This was all about the chartered companies. Second one is statutory company. These companies are formed by the Act of Legislature or the Act of Parliament, and these are formed to carry out some special public undertakings such as Railway, Gas, Food Corporation of India, Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, LIC of India, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Delhi State Finance Corporation of India. So these are the certain special public undertakings for which these companies are formed, and such companies are defined by the Act that is constituting them, and they are not required to have MOA, that is Memorandum of Association, and the liabilities of the members of these companies that is limited to the value of the unpaid value of the shares that is held by them. And the next one, that is registered company. A company formed and registered under the Section 3 of the Companies Act 2013, that is known as registered company. Except statutory company, all the existing companies in India are formed by Companies Act. The working of such companies is regulated by the provisions of the Companies Act 1956 or Companies Act 2013. And the certificate of incorporation, that is registration, that is also granted to these companies by the registrar of the companies. This was the classification on the basis of incorporation. And the second one is, that is classification on the basis of liability. If we talk about the classification of the companies on the basis of liability, that can be further classified under the three heads. First one is companies limited by shares. Second one is companies limited by guarantee. And the third one is unlimited companies. Firstly, I will discuss with the companies limited by shares. If we talk about the companies limited by shares, the liability of the members of such companies is limited to the unpaid value of the shares. This means most of the companies in India are of these types, and such companies may be either public company or it may be a private company. One is companies limited by guarantee. If we talk about the companies limited by guarantee, the liability of the members of such companies that is limited by a fixed sum that is specified in the MOA of that company, and beyond which they can't be held liable, and means they cannot be called upon to contribute. So the liability of the members of such companies, that is companies limited by guarantee, that is limited to the extent of the guarantee that is undertaken by the members of the company. A company limited by guarantee may or may not have share capital, and the liability of the members of such companies is twofold. First one is liability to pay the unpaid calls on shares, and the second one is the amount of guarantee undertaken by the members in MOA. And the article of association of such companies must state the number of members with which such companies are registered, and the such companies are formed for the non-trading purposes, and such as charity purpose, art purpose, science purpose, and with the permission of the central government also. Next company, that is unlimited company. As it is clear from the name, the liability of the members of the unlimited company is unlimited. Means companies are not having any limit on the liability of the members, and such company is called unlimited liability company. The liability in such a case that extends to personal property of the shareholders also. And such companies don't use the word limited. Under Section 2 Clause 92 of the Companies Act, the article of association of such companies shall state, number one, the number of members with which such company is registered. Second one is, if the company has share capital, the amount of share capital with which that company is registered. That is essential. Under Section 32 of the Companies Act, the unlimited company can be converted into the limited company by passing a special resolution for the purpose. This was all about the unlimited company. Next classification, that is kinds of registered companies. That is on the basis of number of members. If we talk about the companies on the basis of number of members, that can be classified under the two heads. One is private company and the second one is public company. If we talk about the private company, that is defined under Section 2 Clause 68 of the Companies Act. A private company means a company which has minimum paid up share capital of rupees 1 lakh and such paid up share capital as may be prescribed as article. And it is provided that where the two or more persons hold one or more shares in a company jointly, they shall for the purpose of this clause as single member. And it also prohibits any invitation of the shares to the public. Means it prohibits any invitation to the public to subscribe for the securities of the company. If you talk about the main features of the private company, first is restriction on the transferability of the shares. Second one is restriction on the number of members. And the third one is provision on the invitation to the public to subscribe the securities. These are the certain features of the private company. And the next type of company, that is public company. That is described under Section 2 Clause 71 of the Companies Act. As per Section 2 Clause 71, the public company means a company which is not a private company and has a minimum paid up capital as may be prescribed by the Companies Act. And if we talk about the main features of the public company, a public company must have a minimum number of members 7 and there is no maximum number of limits of the members in a public company. And it can invite the public to subscribe its shares. Shares are freely transferable and it has to add the word limited at the end of its name. And the minimum paid up capital of such public must not be less than 5 lakh rupees. And the shares and debentures of such companies are movable property and they are transferable in the manner that is provided by the AOA of that company, Article of Association of the company. If we talk about the distinction between the public company and private company, that is also asked for many times in the previous year question papers. That is also one of the most important question. Thus, if we talk about the distinction between the public company and the private company, there are the certain differences between the public company and the private company. First difference, that is regarding the transfer of shares. As per Section 2 Clause 68, a private company, there must be restriction on the transfer of shares. And the transfer of shares requires the prior permission of the board of directors in the case of private company. While in the case of public company, there is no such type of restriction on the transfer of shares. If we talk about the second difference, that is difference regarding the limit on number of members. The limit on the maximum number of members in the case of private company, that is 200. Excluding the members who are or were in the employment of the company. While in the case of public company, there is no limit on the maximum number of members. And the third difference, that is regarding the invitation to the public to subscribe its shares capital. Private company, its article of association prohibits the invitation to the public to subscribe for any of the securities of the company. While in the case of public company, that can invite the public to subscribe for the securities of the company. Next difference, that is regarding the minimum number of members. If we talk about the minimum number of members of a private company, that there is only 2. While in the case of public company, there must be minimum 7 members. And the next difference, that is regarding the minimum subscription and the allotment of securities. That is described under Section 39 of the Companies Act. In the case of private company, that can allot the shares without receiving any minimum subscription. While in the case of public company, that cannot allot the shares without receiving the minimum subscription. And the next difference, that is regarding the acceptance of public deposits. A private company by its article of association prohibits any invitation or acceptance of the deposits from the public. A private company can accept deposits from its own members only. While in the case of public company, that can invite and accept the deposits from the public also. The next difference that is regarding the retirement of the directors by rotation. Section 152 clause 6, the directors of the private company are not required to retire by rotation, while in the case of public company, the directors of the public company are subject to retirement by rotation. And the next difference that is regarding the statutory meetings. A public company must hold a statutory meeting and file its report to the registrar of the company, while a private company has no such obligation. And the next difference that is regarding the quorum for the general meeting. As per section 103 of the Companies Act, in the case of public company, the quorum is 5 to 30 members personally present in the meeting, unless the article provides otherwise. While in the case of private company, the quorum is 2 members that must personally present in the meeting. And the next difference that is regarding the audit committee. If we talk about the audit committee, as per section 177 of the Companies Act, a private company is not required to constitute an audit committee, while the board of directors of every public company must constitute an audit committee. That is mandatory. So this was all about the differences between the public company and the private company. And the next type of company, that is government company. As per section 2 clause 45 of the Companies Act, a government company is one in which not less than 51% of the paid up capital is held by central government or the state government, or the partially by the central government or the state government. And if we talk about the examples of the government companies, there are the certain examples such as Hindustan Machine Tools Limited, State Trading Corporation, Minerals and Metals Trading Corporations. So these are the certain examples of the government companies. This means a government company is not required to add to its name private, and the government company may be incorporated as a private company or a public company, and the government company can sue the government in its own name. In the case of Heavy Engineering Mazdoor Union versus State of Bihar in 1969, the Honorable Court has held that a government company is not a department of the state, and the government company is not an agent of the government, even the entire share capital is contributed by the government, and its employees are also not considered as the government employees, and it has a separate legal entity distinct from its members, and it can own property in its own name. And this is the definition that is given by the Honorable Apex Court, case of Heavy Engineering Mazdoor Union versus State of Bihar. And the next type of company, that is the foreign company. As per section 2 clause 42 of the Companies Act, the foreign company means any company or the body corporate that is incorporated outside India, which has a place of business in India, and whether by itself or through an agent, physically or through the electronic mode, and the conduct of any business activity in India in any other manner. Such type of company is generally called as foreign company. As per section 379, it provides that where not less than 50% of the paid up capital of a foreign company is held by one or more citizens of India, such company shall comply with the provisions as it were company incorporated in India. In the case of Pratap Singh versus Bank of America in 1976, the Bombay High Court has held that a foreign company cannot be sued in India for a cause of action which has arisen wholly outside India, even if it has a place of business in India. This is a decision given by Bombay High Court in the case of Pratap Singh versus Bank of America. Another type of company is also, that is associated company. Associated company means a company in which other company has a significant influence, but which is not a subsidiary company of the company having such influence, and includes a joint venture company also. And the next type of company, that is small company. A small company means a company other than a public company of which paid up capital is not exceeding the 50 lakh rupees, and which shall not be more than 5 crore rupees, and turnover of which as per last profit and loss account does not exceed 2 crore rupees, and such a higher amount as prescribed which shall not be more than 20 crore. That is about the small company. And the next company, that is one person company. If we talk about the one-person company as it is clear from name, one-person company means a company which has only one person as a member. That is described under section 2 clause 62 of the Companies Act. And the next per section 3, that a company may be formed for the lawful purpose by one person, and the one person company is a private company. This was all about the types of companies. And the next division, that is on the basis of control. If we talk about the companies on the basis of control, that can be further classified under the certain heads. That is, first, holding company. A holding company is a company which controls another companies. That is called subsidiary company. According to section 2 clause 46 of the Companies Act, a holding company means a company which controls the board of directors of the another company. And the second one is that exercises or controls the more than one half of the total share capital of that company. That company is known as holding company. And the second company, that is subsidiary company. If we talk about the subsidiary company, that means a company in which holding company controls the composition of the board of directors, or the exercises or controls more than one half of the share capital, either as its own or together with one or more of the subsidiary companies. So that is the subsidiary company. And the next type of companies, there may be another type of companies also, that is associated company. Associated company means a company in which other company has a significant influence, but which is not a subsidiary company of the company having such influence, and includes a joint venture company also. And the next type of company, that is small company. A small company means a company other than a public company of which paid up capital is not exceeding the 50 lakh rupees, and which shall not be more than 5 crore rupees, and turnover of which as per last profit and loss account does not exceed 2 crore rupees, and such a higher amount as prescribed which shall not be more than 20 crore. That is about the small company. And the next company, that is one person company. If we talk about the one person company as it is clear from name, one person company means a company which has only one member, one person as a member. That is described under section 2 clause 62 of the Companies Act. And the next is section, as per section 3, that a company may be formed for the lawful purpose by one person, and the one person company is a private company. तो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट द टाइप्स ऑफ कंपनीज. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, जब हम कंपनीज की बात करते हैं तो कंपनी का डिवीजन कई प्रकार से किया जा सकता है. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया कि कंपनी को हम उसकी लाइबिलिटी के आधार पर भी डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, रजिस्ट्रेशन के आधार पर भी डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स के आधार पर भी डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, कंपनी के ऊपर नियंत्रण के आधार पर भी डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. यदि हम बात करते हैं कंपनी के डिवीजन की उसके इनकॉर्पोरेशन के आधार पर, तो उसको इनकॉर्पोरेशन के आधार पर 3 भागों में डिवाइड किया गया है. फर्स्ट इज चार्टेड कंपनी, सेकेंड वन इज स्टैट्यूटरी कंपनी, एंड द थर्ड वन इज रजिस्टर्ड कंपनी. चार्टर्ड कंपनी उस कंपनी को कहा जाता है जिसका इनकॉर्पोरेशन रॉयल चार्टर के द्वारा हुआ था, जो ब्रिटिश क्राउन के द्वारा इंडिया में लाया गया था. आज के टाइम की यदि हम बात करें तो इस तरह की कंपनी प्रेजेंट टाइम में देखने को नहीं मिलती, और इस तरह की जो कंपनी के जो मेंबर होते थे वो कभी भी कंपनी के डेब्ट्स के लिए उनको लाइबल नहीं ठहराया जा सकता था. एंड द सेकेंड वन इज स्टैट्यूटरी कंपनी, मीन्स ऐसी जिसको हम कहते हैं वैधानिक कंपनी, ऐसी कंपनी जिसका क्रिएशन ही पार्लियामेंट या स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर के द्वारा किया गया है. मतलब ऐसी कंपनी जिसको पार्लियामेंट या स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर के द्वारा पास किए गए कानून के द्वारा उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन किया जा रहा है, ऐसी कंपनी को स्टैट्यूटरी कंपनी कहा जाएगा. और इस तरह की जो कंपनी है वो जनरली कुछ स्पेशल पर्पज़ के लिए बनाई जाती है, स्पेशल पब्लिक अंडरटेकिंग्स के लिए बनाई जाती है, जैसे कि रेलवे कंपनी, फूड कॉरपोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, गैस, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, LIC, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कॉरपोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया. तो दीज आर द सर्टेन कंपनीज विच आर जनरली having some special undertakings. तो ऐसी कंपनीज को, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, इस तरह की जो कंपनीज है वो स्टैट्यूटरी कंपनीज कहलाती है, वैधानिक कंपनीज कहलाती है। एंड द थर्ड वन इज रजिस्टर्ड कंपनी। रजिस्टर्ड कंपनी वो कंपनी कहलाती है जिसका रजिस्ट्रेशन कंपनी एक्ट के द्वारा किया जा रहा है। कंपनी एक्ट, जैसा कि आपको पता है कि 1956 का जो कंपनी एक्ट था उसको रिप्लेस कर दिया गया था 2013 के कंपनी एक्ट के द्वारा। तो ऐसी कंपनी जिनका इनकॉर्पोरेशन कंपनी एक्ट 1956 के द्वारा या फिर कंपनी एक्ट 2013 के द्वारा हुआ है, ऐसी कंपनीज को रजिस्टर्ड कंपनी कहा जाता है। और ऐसी कंपनीज को रजिस्ट्रार के द्वारा, जो कंपनीज के लिए जो रजिस्ट्रार नियुक्त किया जाता है, उसके द्वारा उसका सर्टिफिकेट भी इश्यू किया जाता है। तो ये मैंने आपको डिवीजन बताया ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ इनकॉर्पोरेशन। सेकंड डिवीजन इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लायबिलिटी। यदि हम उसकी लायबिलिटी के आधार पर बात करते हैं कंपनी की, तो उसके आधार पर भी कंपनी को 3 भागों में डिवाइड किया गया है। एक कंपनी जो लिमिटेड बाय शेयर्स होती है, जिसकी लायबिलिटी कहीं ना कहीं शेयर्स की अनपेड वैल्यू तक ही सीमित रहती है, ऐसी कंपनी को कंपनी लिमिटेड बाय शेयर्स कहा जाता है। सेकंड वन इज कंपनी लिमिटेड बाय गारंटी। ऐसी कंपनी जिनकी जो लायबिलिटी है वो MOA के अंदर जो अमाउंट इन्होंने स्पेसिफाई किया है उस तक ही सीमित रहती है, ऐसी कंपनी को कंपनी लिमिटेड बाय गारंटी कहा जाता है। एंड द थर्ड वन इज अनलिमिटेड कंपनी। ऐसी कंपनी जिसकी लायबिलिटी अनलिमिटेड है, उसके ऊपर कोई सीमा नहीं है, दैट इज असीमित, ऐसी कंपनी को अनलिमिटेड कंपनी कहा जाता है। और ऐसे कंपनी के जो मेंबर्स की जो लायबिलिटी होती है, कहीं ना कहीं उसकी पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी तक भी जा सकती है, उसके वहाँ पे क्रेडिटर्स की देनदारों के लिए यदि रह जाते हैं, तो ऐसी कंडीशन में मेंबर्स की जो पर्सनल संपत्ति है उसको भी बेचा जा सकता है। तो ये मैंने आपको बताया कंपनी का डिवीजन लायबिलिटी के आधार पे। एंड द थर्ड डिवीजन, जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, उसके नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स के आधार पे। यदि हम नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स की बात करते हैं तो कंपनी को 2 भागों में डिवाइड किया जा सकता है, प्राइवेट कंपनी और पब्लिक कंपनी। प्राइवेट कंपनी वो कंपनी होती है जिसके अंदर कम से कम 2 मेंबर और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 200 मेंबर्स होते हैं। यदि हम पब्लिक कंपनी की बात करते हैं तो पब्लिक कंपनी के अंदर कम से कम 7 मेंबर और मैक्सिमम की कोई लिमिट नहीं होती। इसके बाद जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, प्राइवेट कंपनी और पब्लिक कंपनी के बीच में कुछ डिफरेंस किए गए हैं जो कहीं ना कहीं आपके एग्जाम्स में भी पूछे जाते हैं। यदि हम पब्लिक कंपनी और प्राइवेट कंपनी के डिफरेंस की बात करते हैं तो पब्लिक कंपनी की जो डेफिनेशन है वो सेक्शन 2 क्लोज 68 के अंदर दी गई है, जबकि पब्लिक कंपनी की परिभाषा सेक्शन 2 क्लोज 71 के अंदर दी गई है। The public company that is defined under section 2 clause 71 of the Companies Act, while the private company is defined under section 2 clause 68 of the Companies Act. If we talk about the difference between these two, यदि हम इनके डिफरेंस की बात करते हैं तो पहला डिफरेंस, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, शेयर्स को ट्रांसफरेबिलिटी के संबंध में होता है कि जो प्राइवेट कंपनी होती है वो अपने शेयर्स को ट्रांसफर नहीं कर सकती, उसके ऊपर रिस्ट्रिक्शन डाली जा सकती है, लिमिटेशन होती है। जबकि जो पब्लिक कंपनी होती है उसके जो शेयर्स होते हैं वो फुली ट्रांसफरेबल होते हैं, देयर इज नो रिस्ट्रिक्शन। सेकेंड डिफरेंस दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द मैक्सिमम एंड मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स। यदि हम पब्लिक कंपनी की बात करते हैं तो मिनिमम उसके अंदर 2 मेंबर्स होने चाहिए, मैक्सिमम उसके अंदर 200 मेंबर्स हो सकते हैं। जबकि यदि हम प्राइवेट कंपनी की बात करते हैं तो मिनिमम 2 मेंबर और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 200 मेंबर। जबकि पब्लिक कंपनी के अंदर आपके मिनिमम 7 मेंबर्स और मैक्सिमम की कोई लिमिट नहीं बताई गई है। तीसरा डिफरेंस, इन्विटेशन टू द पब्लिक टू सब्सक्राइब द सिक्योरिटीज़। जैसा कि मैंने बताया कि प्राइवेट कंपनी के जो शेयर्स होते हैं उसको सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए पब्लिक को इनवाइट नहीं किया जा सकता, जबकि पब्लिक कंपनी में ऐसा किया जा सकता है। और नेक्स्ट डिफरेंस दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द सब्सक्रिप्शन कैपिटल। मिनिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन कैपिटल की यदि हम बात करते हैं तो जो प्राइवेट कंपनी की बात करते हैं तो उसमें मिनिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन कैपिटल जो है 1 लाख की होनी चाहिए, जबकि पब्लिक कंपनी की मिनिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन कैपिटल 5 लाख की होनी चाहिए। नेक्स्ट डिफरेंस दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ पब्लिक डिपॉजिट्स। एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ द पब्लिक डिपॉजिट की यदि हम बात करते हैं तो प्राइवेट कंपनी कभी भी पब्लिक से डिपॉजिट को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकती, केवल उसके मेंबर्स को छोड़ के, जबकि पब्लिक कंपनी ऐसा कर सकती है, वो पब्लिक से पैसा डिपॉजिट करवा सकती है। और नेक्स्ट डिफरेंस दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स। यदि हम पब्लिक कंपनी की बात करते हैं तो उसके अंदर कम से कम 3 डायरेक्टर होने चाहिए, जबकि प्राइवेट कंपनी में कम से कम 2 डायरेक्टर हो सकते हैं। और नेक्स्ट डिफरेंस दैट वाज रिगार्डिंग द कोरम फॉर द जनरल मीटिंग। यदि हम बात करते हैं रिगार्डिंग द कोरम फॉर द जनरल मीटिंग, यदि हम बात करते हैं पब्लिक कंपनी की, तो पब्लिक कंपनी का जो कोरम होता है वो कम से कम 5 मेंबर से 30 मेंबर के बीच का होना चाहिए। जनरल मीटिंग्स के समय में पब्लिक कंपनी का जो कोरम होता है वो कम से कम 5 से 30 मेंबर का होना जरूरी है, जबकि प्राइवेट कंपनी के अंदर 2 मेंबर्स का भी कोरम चल जाता है। एंड द नेक्स्ट डिफरेंस दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द ऑडिट कमेटी। जो पब्लिक कंपनी होती है उसको ऑडिट कमेटी फ्रेम करना जरूरी होता है, जबकि प्राइवेट कंपनी के अंदर ऑडिट कमेटी का होना जरूरी नहीं है, इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। तो प्राइवेट कंपनी इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू कंस्टिट्यूट द ऑडिट कमिटी, while the board of directors of every public company must constitute the audit committee. Private company is not required to constitute an audit committee, while the board of directors of the public company must constitute the audit committee. नेक्स्ट मैंने आपको बताया गवर्नमेंट कंपनी। गवर्नमेंट कंपनी ऐसी कंपनी को कहा जाता है जिसके अंदर कम से कम 51% से ज़्यादा के जो शेयर होते हैं वो गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा लिए गए हों। मीन्स यहाँ पे या तो वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट उसकी मालकिन है, या फिर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा उसको लिया गया है, या फिर आधे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा आधे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा। मीन्स वहाँ पे उनका जो कंट्रोल है 51% से ज़्यादा का जो शेयर का जो कंट्रोल होता है वो गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में होना चाहिए, तभी वो कंपनी गवर्नमेंट कंपनी कहलाएगी। इसके लिए मैंने आपको एग्जांपल बताए थे, जैसे हिंदुस्तान मशीन टूल्स लिमिटेड, स्टेट ट्रेडिंग कॉर्पोरेशन, मिनरल्स एंड मेटल ट्रेडिंग कॉर्पोरेशन। तो ये कुछ ऐसे एग्जांपल है जो कहीं ना कहीं गवर्नमेंट कंपनीज कहलाती है। यदि हम गवर्नमेंट कंपनीज की बात करते हैं तो हर गवर्नमेंट कंपनी को मतलब कोई भी गवर्नमेंट कंपनी कभी भी अपने नाम के पीछे प्राइवेट वर्ड नहीं लगाती है। और ऐसी जो गवर्नमेंट कंपनी होती है वो पब्लिक कंपनी या प्राइवेट कंपनी के रूप में उसका इनकॉर्पोरेशन या रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाया जा सकता है। और कोई भी गवर्नमेंट कंपनी अपने नाम से मतलब कंपनी के नाम से मुकदमा फाइल कर सकती है। तो ये मैंने आपको बताया गवर्नमेंट कंपनी के बारे में। एंड द नेक्स्ट कंपनी दैट इज़ फॉरेन कंपनी। यदि हम फॉरेन कंपनी की बात करते हैं तो फॉरेन कंपनी वो कंपनी होती है जिसका इनकॉर्पोरेशन तो इंडिया से बाहर हुआ है, रजिस्ट्रेशन तो इंडिया से बाहर हुआ है, परंतु वो कार्य इंडिया के अंदर भी कर रही है, चाहे वो फिजिकली काम करे या फिर वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड के थ्रू भी काम कर सकती है। ऐसी कंपनी फॉरेन कंपनी कहलाती है। तो ये मैंने आपको सारा का सारा कंपनी के बारे में बताया है, कंपनी के प्रकार भी बताए और कंपनी प्राइवेट कंपनी और पब्लिक कंपनीज में डिफरेंस भी बताया है। एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। एंड इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू मस्ट पुट डाउन इन द कमेंट सेक्शन। एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब दिस चैनल फॉर द फर्दर अपडेट। थैंक यू।